24-hour fundraiser was an amazing experience. On Friday, we showed up at 3 p.m. and started our fundraiser. We had a hard time gaining the quarters and the cash that we were trying to fundraise for. We realized that it was due to the fact that people were timing the lights as they went through town. And so, we ended up going to Bridge Street at the first stoplight. We were able to raise tons more money. That night, we hung out all night. Well, not all night for me, because I went to bed at midnight. But some students were able to stay up the whole night playing games such on the GameCube or Wii or on PlayStation. Then in the morning, we played card games, had donuts, and then got ready to go out for a second day. We went directly to the Bridge Street stoplight, and then we kept going. By the end of the day, we were able to raise $2,300. Not only will this be able to impact our community in a great way, it was a great bonding experience for the members of JCF to grow together as a more cohesive team.
So starting on 3 p.m. Friday, we grabbed signs, we stood out on the street next to the Purple Parrot and the People's Bank, and we just tried to raise as much money as we could, and then that spot wasn't the best, so we moved down to Bridge Street. And then around 8:30 or 9, we went back to camp. We played games, we had dinner, we just had fun. Some people went to bed, but others stayed up all night. And then around 9:30 the next morning, all of us went down to Bridge Street and we raised more money than we did that whole 24 hours right there. And it was fun.
The 24-hour fundraiser started at 3 p.m. on Friday, and throughout the first day, we held up signs on the side of the street that said, hit me with a quarter, or signs that said fundraising for JCF, so that people knew what we were fundraising the money for. And a lot of them handed us money as they were driving by or threw quarters at us. But as traffic began to slow down and night began to fall, it was really a good gathering and bonding time for our team. And we had a lot of entertainment set up and pretty much hung out all night. As the next day started, we went back out onto the streets again for another probably 6 to 7 hours with our signs of people throwing money at us. And throughout both days, we raised about $2,300. It was a great fundraiser for us, and we all really maxed out on our fundraising efforts.
So I showed up at like 3 o'clock, p.m. and I didn't really know what we were going to be doing, but they said, hey, it's a 24-hour fundraiser, and I thought, all right, well, that'll be fun. And I showed up, and apparently we were going to be twirling signs, which I honestly, I figured it would be something a little more institutionalized, but I was like, all right. I mean, we made like $2,000, so that's a lot more than I was expecting, but the first 5 hours was, twirling the signs, trying to get people to throw quarters at our chapter president for, throw quarters at Devin. It was a lot of fun. And then the real fun started though at around like 8:30 when it started getting a little too dark to fundraise, because then we went into these canopies that we had set up, and we had a bunch of generators hooked up to a bunch of consoles, so we were playing video games all night. Video game tournaments, and then that went on. We were just sitting there trying not to pass out, and me and my friend were the only people who didn't actually pass out. So that was like, let me think here, like 14 hours, and then we got up and everybody else was up now, and we all went out and did some more fundraising. And it was at this point that I really started to question, why did they have us stay up all night and go out and twirl signs? I mean, it was still fun, but I was like, whew. But then I had some Dutch Bros and everything was all better. And we went out and we twirled some more signs, and we went to Bridge Street now, and we were seriously making some money now, because David Moore would go up and accost the people in their cars to give him money, and it was really funny to watch, actually. And then, 3 rolled around, and I realized I had been in that parking lot or on the premises of Grants Pass on the street for 24 hours, and I decided I would go home and take a nap.
During the 24-hour fundraiser, I was the one who was behind the scenes. I was there filming at all the different streets we were all at. On the first day, we were kind of everywhere, and we had people down at like J Street, all the way down to Bridge Street and to 7-Eleven. So it required a lot of walking, and I took a lot of film of me walking just to show how much that was. Then after all of that, after all the money we made during the day, around 8:30, 9, we started to settle down and go back to camp, where we played a lot of video games. We had multiple different consoles. We had an old TV that I brought where we had retro stuff going on, so people that wanted to play retro stuff, we had that set up. And we also had a projector, which was, I think it was an Xbox, which was a lot of fun for the people who wanted to do that. And we also had a Wii, where we had Just Dance, and we had like Wii bowling and stuff like that. So that was a lot of fun. And throughout that, we tried to stay up as long as we could. There were a few people that were unable to stay up the full 24 hours, but that's okay. Around 9:30 in the morning, we started fundraising again. During this time, I didn't get as much film because I was actually out there fundraising during this day. We were all out on Bridge Street, and that was where we made the most of our money because during the morning, people were going to work and stuff, and at that street, that's where like the first stoplight when you head into town is. So that was a lot better. And overall, it's just a great experience, and I recommend anyone in the JCF, if you're a member or an officer, to come and try to make it 24 hours.
To find more information about the events we have done in the past, ones we plan to do, and what we are, go to jcfserves.org. And remember, stay classy, JCF.